Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is D-Man coming back at it again with another YouTube video, and today I've got some predictions for Team of the Week, Week 6, so let's go ahead and hop into it. As you can see, I have a ton of tabs up here on the top, ranging from 87, I actually started at 85, but couldn't find anything. I went from 85 all the way up to 2019 last year, and tried to find some players that had some of the best games that week. So let's go ahead and hop into it. Gonna try and make it a little bit quicker, just because I don't want to stretch this video out too long. So first guy I've got is Steve Largent here. Now for my predictions, I think we are gonna get a tight end, but I still highlighted some other positions because we might. I feel like it's either gonna be a receiver or tight end. I'm leaning towards tight end, but we'll go ahead and. I will go ahead and go over these cards, or I shouldn't say these cards, but these players throughout these years, and then my final predictions I'll say at the end. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and say Steve Largent here, 15 receptions, 261 with 3 touchdowns. Yeah, pretty good. So next I've got, let's see what year this is, 96. Who did I highlight here? That's going to be Shannon Sharpe. Now, Shannon Sharpe is actually going to be my prediction on who we're going to get tomorrow. There is a Frank Wycheck who had 100 yards and 1 touchdown. I don't think he's going to get it. Shannon Sharpe is my prediction. He's a tight end. It's going to fit the... It's just perfect. So, yeah, I think Shannon Sharpe's going to get this card here. He's not like a legend, but like... He's, a well-known name in the past. So, he fits this promo pretty well, in my opinion. So, I think Shannon Sharpe will get this card. And I'm really confident in myself that I might get all these right. But, yeah, Shannon Sharpe here. And I also have some defensive predictions as well. So, let's go ahead and keep going here. So, what year is this? 99. So, in 99, who did I highlight here? No receivers. I think it was a defensive player. All right, yeah. Champ Bailey. Champ Bailey is a cornerback. We could see a cornerback. We haven't seen a cornerback in a couple of weeks now. I think it's going to be a safety. But Champ Bailey could get this card, and it's a high possibility. He's got 3 picks, a pick 6, and 51 yards total on the returns. Champ Bailey, yeah, definitely could get this card. All right, 2001. Moving on to 2001 here. Who do I want to highlight here? There's Brady there. I guess it was defense. Yeah. So Joey Porter here. 4 sacks, 6 tackles total. Joey Porter again. A well-known name in the past. Not the, top tier, big time legend, but, fits the promo well. Joey Porter could get this card again. We've had plenty of linebackers come out in this promo, but yeah. Joey Porter could get this card. Moving on, 2002 here. Not receivers, has to be, yeah. Julius Peppers, guys. So he had 3 tackles, a pick 6, or not a pick 6, but he had a pick, returning for 21 yards. He had 3 sacks and a forced fumble. Julius Peppers could get this card again. Like I said, we've seen a lot of linebackers, so I expect a corner or a safety. But again, I'm just highlighting these players because this is what we could see. Again, so Julius Peppers here. So moving on, we got 2003 season. So let's see who we got. I believe, okay, so Simeon Rice, I believe, is who I had. Oh, no. Him and Derek Mason. Derek Mason, again, he's a wide receiver. He had 6 catches, 177 yards, 3 touchdowns. That would be a huge, well, not really much of a huge upgrade to the Titans team. We already had plenty of wide receivers, but again, we'll take a Derek Mason, guys. So, Derek Mason here, yeah, 3 touchdowns, pretty good there. And then Simeon Rice, also wanted to say here, 4 sacks and a forced fumble, could get the card too. And then Chris McAllister too, 2 picks. But again, just some players to look at. Moving on, we have, what's this year, 2005? Yeah, 2005. Who we want to look at here? Jared Allen could get this card. 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. He's another name that would fit the promo. Sean Alexander already got the card. And oh yeah, Santana Moss. Again, it wasn't an L, but still, 2 touchdowns, 10 catches, 173 yards, solid game. I don't think, if it comes down to a wide receiver, I don't think it would be him. I would think it'd be Derek Mason, or another player we're about to get into here in a moment. And I think that's all the players in that year. Yeah, so next year, what is this, 2006? Receivers, Torrey Holt, and this is the other dude I'm talking about. So if it comes down to a receiver, it's either going to be Derek Mason or Torrey Holt. They both fit the promo pretty well. Torrey Holt, in my opinion, I think would get the card if it comes down to Mason or Torrey Holt. But we're hoping for Derek Mason, guys. But yeah, Torrey Holt here. It was in an L, while let's see, in 2003, Derek Mason was in a win. So I think they would give the edge to Derek Mason. I changed my mind. Just because it was Derek Mason won, and Torrey Holt, it was in a losing effort here with 3 touchdowns, but 8 catches, 154 yards, 3 touchdowns, solid game. Who else want to look at down here? Not really anyone there. All right, so moving on, 2007. And this is where I want to get into my limited time card. So limited time card works. You got a player that is still playing right now that had a big week in the past, in the same week. So yeah, for example here, or I'm going to use it. This is my prediction here. Adrian Peterson, I think he's going to get an LTD here. He did get that recent power up too, so maybe they were planning this out. If y'all know where I'm going with this. Adrian Peterson here, 20 carries, 224 with 3 touchdowns. Very solid game for him. I don't think we're going to see a running back because we did see Sean Alexander a couple weeks ago. So I would think we'd see a wide receiver and tight end before we see a running back. But LaDainian Tomlinson here, very good game too. And then we get into, I don't think anyone defensively. Yeah, that's going to be that for, yeah. So that was my LTD prediction, is going to be Adrian Peterson. We do see a couple of more, maybe that, a couple of players that might get the card, but I think it's going to be Adrian Peterson. And yeah, moving on to the 2009 year. This is going to be another LTD prediction. Tom Brady. This is probably the worst Titans game in the history. We gave up 5 touchdowns in 1 quarter against Brady. As you can see, 59-0. Not a good game for us at all, but Brady had 5 touchdowns in 1 quarter. He had 6 total. Could get the card here. Very high possibility, but again, I still think Adrian Peterson, just because we got that power up, unless he gets a most feared card, but I think that power up kind of, leads me to think he'll get the card. So, yeah, still thinking Adrian Peterson there. I don't think anything else here. Do we have any defensively? And I mean, nah. Let's go ahead and move on. 2011. And again, the years I skipped, I didn't find any like big time like stats or performances, I should say, on any players. So I believe this is on defense. Yeah, Darrelle Revis, guys. Darrelle Revis with 2 interceptions here. Total return yards of 100 and pick 6 to go along with that. So, and 4 pass deflections, 3 tackles. So Darrelle Revis would be pretty cool to have in the game. And I'm sure a lot of Jets fans would love to have Darrelle Revis in the game. He hadn't been in the game. He wasn't in the game last year, I don't think. Maybe he was in Madden 19. Not last year, I know that, but Darrelle Revis would be a fun card to have back in Madden. All right, so skipping all the way up to 2017, this is probably going to be another okay, so yeah, LTD pick Harrison Smith. Again, like I said before, I would think on defense, I don't think I've said this before, but on defense, I think we're going to get a safety or a cornerback. So, and I think we would get a safety before we saw a cornerback. So maybe instead of the Adrian Peterson, we might get Harrison Smith here, who had a pick. He had 3 tackles and 1.5 sacks. So, very solid game. He had a pick and sack. So, pretty rare when you see someone have a pick and a sack. So, I mean, yeah. That would be, that's probably, I think that's the only reason I had this up. Yeah. That's pretty much it for 2017. Then we jump over to 2019 here. Let's see. what was I looking at here? Stephon Diggs. Yeah, Stephon Diggs could get the LTD as well, but in my opinion, I still think it's going to be Adrian Peterson. These are just a couple other players I was looking at. But yeah. So that's going to wrap it up for that. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all my final predictions. Let me go ahead and go back through and make sure I have who I want, and let's see how many we can get right. Alright guys, I went ahead and made my final picks on my predictions. So the offensive hero, which is the pass hero, I've got Shannon Sharp. This was a pretty easy pick for me. There hadn't been a tight end the whole Team of the Week promo except for the Mark Andrews LTD card we had. So, and that was a while ago. So Shannon Sharp is my prediction for Week 6, the offensive hero. And then a couple other players I have is Derek Mason and Steve Largent, who both had 3 touchdown games in a win. I would throw in Torrey Holt, but he did get 3 touchdowns in a losing effort. But Shannon Sharp is my prediction for the offensive hero. Now for the defensive hero, let's go to 1999. We went over him earlier. We went over all these earlier, but these are just my final picks. So defense, Champ Bailey, guys. 3 picks, 1 pick 6, 3 tackles, and 4 pass deflections. So I thought maybe a safety. I was leaning towards safety, actually. They may even, bring out a safety. But, I mean, Champ Bailey with 3 picks, a pick 6 for one of those picks, it's pretty crazy. So, and Champ Bailey's pretty well known, so I think people would enjoy a Champ Bailey into the game. So, yeah. Champ Bailey is my defensive hero, and a few others I had was Julius Peppers and Darrelle Revis. I believe Revis had a couple of picks, and Peppers had a pick and like 4 sacks or something crazy like that. So yeah, those are my 2 others, but I think Champ Bailey with his 3 picks and a pick 6 gets my pick for the defensive hero. And now for the LTD, which I've already explained earlier, is a player that still plays now, but had a big-time game in the prior Week 6. So that player, in my opinion, or that player that I picked is going to be Adrian Peterson. As we see, he was the player of the week, and I like to go a little bit deeper here and go down to, look at the other stuff, top receivers, top rushers, top defenders. That's how I pick my players, so instead of just looking at the players of the week. So Adrian Peterson here, 20 carries, 224 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I have him for the player of the week, or the LTD, which is player from the past that still plays right now. And then another option or another player I had written down was Tom Brady with his 5 touchdowns in 1 quarter. Could get the edge, but I think Adrian Peterson will get this card just because he got that power up recently. So it's interesting. I think EA already obviously playing these heroes out at the beginning of the year, so they're probably already set for the rest of the whole year, all the way up to the playoffs. So yeah, so Adrian Peterson is my LTD prediction. And for the player of the week, if y'all saw my video yesterday, big time Tannehill. I think he's going to get this card. Now, y'all are thinking, well, why not Derrick Henry? Derrick Henry, obviously, if Most Feared wasn't just around the corner, I would say Derrick Henry 100%, guys. 100% would say Derrick Henry, but with Most Feared being just around the corner, I think they are holding off on Derrick Henry. Well, we didn't even get any news this morning, so maybe Most Feared is not even coming. So if that's the case, then Derrick Henry 100% is getting the card if Most Feared is not coming. But if it is, I still think Tannehill gets this card. I might be a little biased here, but, Tannehill, big-time game. He did have a couple clutch drives he had to convert on, and he did. So that's why I wouldn't give it to Matt Ryan. He had a fantastic game, too. 4 touchdowns and practically a blowout win. So, I mean, that's why I'm giving the edge to Tannehill here. He had to, play through adversity with the left tackle going out with Taylor Lewan and being down late in the 4th quarter, and then coming out in overtime and winning the game. So Tannehill, I think, is going to get this card. Again, Deshaun Watson did, have a 4 touchdowns. He didn't have any picks with Tannehill having a pick, though. But still, Deshaun Watson lost, so I think Tannehill will get this card. And yeah, a couple others I had were, obviously, I said Matt Ryan earlier, and the other one would be Justin Jefferson here, but he did lose as well, so I don't think he would get the card. So my team of the, or I should say my player of the week prediction is going to be Ryan Tannehill. And yeah, that's going to be all of my predictions for today. I love doing these videos, so please, please, please drop a like. I'll keep bringing these out to you for y'all every week from here on out. And yeah, hope y'all enjoy the video. Until next time, I'll see y'all.